I welcome you to this edition of Mentoring Masterclass. Today, I want to look at 20 practical ways pastors maintain their dignity in such a way that they will not desecrate the altar. The title is Politicians and the Church. 20 practical ways pastors maintain their respect. We have seen a lot of situations, just as I said in the last edition, how some pastors bring themselves down. They lower their altar under the whims and caprices of the politician in this part of the world. But today, let us look at the solution. We are not only looking at the problems, but let's look at the solution. How can pastors rise above this mediocrity? Number one, maintain a strategic aloofness from politicians. Let pastors stay connected to God and remain scarce from politicians. Let them appear before politicians or interact with them when either God sends you to them or they send for you for guidance and prayers, or you are invited to essential government programs. If you consider the program frivolous, you can decline or send a representative. Otherwise, pastors, stay away. Stop dragging yourself and the church in the mud. Number two, if you are with them, maintain your dignity. Pastors, if you are with the politicians, maintain your dignity. If you are with them, stop massaging their ego for favors. They are not your source. God is your source. Stop giving them bills and asking them for free tickets. Say, I want to go to Jerusalem. You are becoming a beggar and will soon lose respect. Immediately you finish your engagement with politicians, rise and leave. Like if you look at the Bible, Prophet Nathan before David or Isaiah before Hezekiah. If they have anything to give you, let them bring it to your office. That looks more honourable. They will know that you are not a hungry preacher. Number three, don't get involved in their private matters. Avoid prognosing in other people's matters. John the Baptist got involved in the private matters of King Herod and got killed for it. Did the Lord ask you to get involved? If yes, feel free to talk to them with wisdom. Thus says the Lord. Deliver your message and leave. Number four, know when a message should be private or public. When God opens your eyes to see things to come, get a clear instruction on what to do with the information. Is it for the public or a private message? When God showed Nathan what David did, Nathan did not go on national TV. He went straight to David. Same with Isaiah. He went straight to Hezekiah. When God told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, Abraham kept quiet. If Abraham had told his wife, Isaac would have been missing the following morning. Women know the purpose of a revelation. Number five, invite the political leaders to your office. Pastors, don't drag yourself in the mud by queuing in their offices. If you have carried yourself with dignity in the past, they will rush to your office immediately you send for them. Carry yourself with pride, such that these political leaders will be seeking for you. Learn from Billy Graham, who had a personal audience with 12 sitting US presidents, from Harry Truman to Barack Obama. He was a kind of spiritual guardian to them. That is what we call spiritual authority. Number six, caution, praise, and encourage them. When they invite you to a public function to speak or to pray, or they come to your church for service, speak the word. Caution them on their excesses. Praise them where they have done right and encourage them to do more. Don't put them down or berate them with harsh words. Show them examples from the Bible and maybe from other lands. Make friends with them in such a way that they can call on you or rely on you for guidance or advice when they need it, without dragging yourself in the mud. Number 7, you are not a member of any political party. Be careful. Even if you have any political preference as a private person, a pastor in a plural society like ours should be careful. Don't make it to look as if you belong to any political party and be condemning one party or the other. You might injure sensibilities of your members who follow them and create needless enemies for yourself. Number 8, speak on issues, not on personalities. It is not in your place to say Tinubu is a lousy person, or Tinubu is a thief, or Obi is a liar, or Atiku is a thief, or Kwankwaso is a local champion. It is none of your business as a pastor. Your duty is to guide your members on good leadership and ask God for exemplary leadership for the country. Number 9, don't be pushed by social media likes and populism. Don't be carried away by popular opinion or social media likes. Popular opinion might not be God's opinion. Don't speak because you want to be heard or praised on social media. Speak only when you have a message and there is a genuine concern of your faith. Number 10, don't try to impress men with prophecies. If you have not received any spiritual instruction or clarity on any issue before you, be bold to say so. There is no crime in that. Don't seek to be popular with men with fake prophecies. Even God has shown you something, suppose he changes his mind. You have become a liar. Don't try to impress men with prophecies, especially when God has not told you to speak in the public. Number 11, back up your statement with the scriptures when you speak in public. That is how to speak like an oracle of God. And in 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 11, use the Bible to guide your members on Christian ethics and doctrines of good governance. Cite the verses and encourage them to read themselves when they get back home, so that you can convince them that you are not manipulative. Give them assignments every Sunday on chapters and verses to read, so that they will know how God operated in the past and how he is likely to operate now. Number 12, be strategic on social media. As pastors, don't come on online platform to argue or abuse people for whatever reason. Some pastors have conducted themselves shamelessly before. I mean, in this very election, this last election we've just done, 2000, you see pastors abusing people on the other side of the argument. They comment or respond to every idle talk and post. They copy and share lies and fake news on the social media. Immediately you share a fake news on the social media, you become a carrier of fake stories. Number 13, censor what goes on national TV or the social media. Your members, after some years, they know you, they know your jokes, your mannerisms, your innuendos, but the public might not. Therefore, censor what goes on national TV or social media. Not all messages are meant for the public. Some messages are church specific. If you are the type who cannot control his mouth, remember to tell your members that what I've just said is for this church. Oh, don't go outside and quote me. However, not saying it is the best condition for not being quoted. Number 14, have social media managers. Rather than conduct themselves in controversial manners on social media, pastors with wisdom do their communication, by raising men in their churches. They teach them on the history or the truth they want to propagate and let their words do the social media talking. They choose their battles. They guide their images and names. Remember that what you say today becomes your history tomorrow. Don't give yourself a permanent image in the hearts of men over a temporary situation. Once you lose your respect and reputation in the sight and heart of men, it is very difficult to restore it. Number 15, be fair to all religions, even the traditional religious worshippers. Remember the verse, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. It is not for God so loved the Christians or for God so loved the church. Don't condemn other people's God because that will hurt them. You cannot openly denounce people and think that you can get their attention again. Preach Jesus. Speak on his power and love, what he came to do, and the profit of serving him. Remember that in a plural society like ours, we have to cohabit with one another. So many church members are married to Muslims. Our family are made up of different religions. In my own family, for instance, almost 70% of my mommy's side and my father's side are Muslims. We need to show love. That is your job specification. You are not there to condemn anybody. Even Jesus Christ did not condemn anybody. He sat with the sinners, but condemned their sins. Number 16, stand for the faith. You are permitted to be militant in words and action when political action of the politicians tamper with matters of your faith, directly against your members or against their feelings. You can contend for your faith when political statements or actions can threaten the lives of your followers. Number 17, be careful with the gift of politicians. When politicians patronize you, they are interested in your electoral value. One of the methods they employ to catch pastors is by making irresistible donations to them. Politicians believe every man has a prize and they are ready to dangle it. If you fall once, you are falling permanently. Number 18, check your wife's activities. Pastors, watch who your wife associates are. Women in this part of the world have a way of doing their own things. If the political powers cannot get pastors directly, in their desperation, they go through their wives by sending their own wives, to the circle of the pastors. For there, the politician has access to the bedroom of the pastors. Number 19, raise leaders in your church. If you want to be friends with politicians who will obey your words and treat you with dignity, politicians whom you can control and trust, raise them locally in your church. Raise them under your watch. Let your church establish a leadership school or a seminary or an academy where you can give political or leadership education to members. From there, they are trained to aspire to political leadership. And when they get to that position of power, they don't forget the fingers that fed them. It is imperative for church to create an arm that will engage in political education. If the church is the light of the world, members should be involved in politics and lead from the front. Number 20, and the last one, be humble enough to apologize. When you say that God told you that something will happen within a period and it did not happen, be humble enough to come to the public and explain what happened and tender apology. Don't think you can sweep it under the carpet. People have marked you as a congenital liar whom God never sent in the first instance. We have seen a so-called pastor in Nigeria who came on the national TV to say God told him that President Obasanjo will hand over to him in 2003, and that Obasanjo should start packing his loads from Aso Rock and hand over to him. Today, we know that God did not send him. That pastor lied. There are so many pastors who said Buhari will die if he tried to contest the presidential election in 2015. Buhari did not only contest election, he contested and he won. Now he has almost completed his 8 years in power. We also have a pastor who said God told him that he is the 16th president of Nigeria. You all know him. He contested the primaries of his party, and he did not only lose till date, we don't even know how he wants to become the 16th president of Nigeria. Some pastors tell lies, and they try to sweep these lies under the carpet as if Nigerians are fools. No, we are not fools. When you tell a lie in order to be popular in Nigeria, be humble enough to come back to the same public and apologize that I'm sorry, I said this in the past. I am sorry about it. These and many more are ways pastors can conduct themselves with dignity in a political era. I believe you have learned something today. May God bless you. Thank you so much.